Hello, all, and welcome to September. I hope you guys can hear me. It looks like you can, but please let me know if for some reason you can't hear me. I don't see the mic moving. Always makes me nervous, you guys. Okay, it looks like it's working, but I don't know. I just work here. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Working on our angel cards for your super simple September. I know this can be like the crazy time of year. One of my favorite, back when we were all on Facebook, I know a lot of people are still on Facebook. Good on you. But I remember like really in its heyday, right? There was a mom friend of mine. All she posted was, "How's your September going?" And it was a picture of her feet. And she had two different shoes on. Yeah, she left the house with two different shoes on. That's what September can be like. Don't we all know it? Holy cannoli. So, as you guys come in, make sure you say hi. But we are going to make this one a super simple September. This is going to be a coffee with Coach. I recommend you just grab a piece of paper and a pen. If you have a great journal you use for coffees with Coach, go for it. It's going to be one you're going to want to write down because we're out to make it super simple. Oh, all right, guys, here we go. We have a shower of abundance. This is so funny because I'm about to talk to you guys about holiday revenue as well. Do you see that? Shower of abundance. To heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning money, and we will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept abundance. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. Are you freaking kidding me? The reason I'm laughing at this, I swear to God, I swear I don't rig these. Is I'm actually going to drop in the link. Do I have it? I think I do. I do not. Hold, please. I'm about to drop a link into the chat for my fall business reset workshop. You guys, I'm hosting this for free. September 26th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. I always find that to be the best time for all of you who I know we've got people in Australia, we've got people in Europe, we've got people in Africa, we've got people in the north and south of the United States here. And it just seems to be the best time. I know 4 p.m. can be a little tough for the moms. We do our best. My recommendation is you absolutely sign up for this workshop and show up. We're giving you plenty of time to be able to clear your calendar to get there. This is going to be a workshop you'll remember forever. And pro tip, if you show up on time, I am giving away my holiday profit guide. This is normally only for sale and for a very limited amount of time during the holiday season. It's one of our best sellers here at Team Sarah. People love it. If you show up to the workshop on time, it is yours for free. Yeah, I know. No joke, but you got to be there on time. What's up? Hi, Angel. Oh, you have to tell me your full name. Kate. I love you, Kate. Welcome. And I love that your name is Angel, by the way. Okay, their handle on YouTube is what I meant to say. You guys, let's just look at her for just one more sec as you're thinking about signing up to join for this workshop. You guys, I'm hosting this workshop for free. I know I've said that. I will say it again because I believe in abundance and I believe in business success and I want to help you succeed. And over 50% of small business owners say that just the holiday season alone is 50% of their annual revenue. That is a lot of weight to carry if you don't have a clear plan. So this is all about ease, less stress, and more revenue for you. Yeah? You in? I think so. Links in the chat. All right, beautiful people. We'll also put it underneath this video. You guys have a little bit of time to get this handled to make sure you're there with me. Yeah? All right, cool. All right, so today we are looking at a super simple September. Hooray. No two pairs of shoes on your feet. We are going to make this easy. We're going to make it strong. We're going to make it, I want to say like a month of focus, right? Because it is, I'm going to walk you through how to do this, but there are so many things this month, especially that are going to be vying for your attention. And we're not going to let that happen this time. I know. Are you excited? I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. All right. Kate, will there be a recording of the workshop? I literally will be on a train during that time. Here's what we're doing. We are recording it, but that recording will only be available for a short amount of time. The other thing, Kate, that I really recommend is you be there live because you can ask specific questions about your business and I will answer them. So do what you can is what I would say. And I totally get being on a train. I know you have a life. And if there's anything you can do for that one day to be there with us live, I would do it. That's just my 2 cents. Obviously, I totally trust you. You have an amazing life. You know what you're doing. But there will be a recording if for some reason you go in and out, you will be able to have access to that, but just not for very long because we want you there. We want you active. We want cameras on. We want people participating, right? To the best of your ability. Yeah? Awesome sauce. All right, beautiful humans. Let's jump into your super simple September. So, how do we make things simple? Such a funny thing to say these days, right? How many of you have already received a ding, a notification, or something on your phone already, even as we've just started, right? It's bananas. We have so many weapons of mass distraction working against our own clarity and against our own focus. Our own focus. Like there's no reason to be part of this hustle culture that has you running around like crazy as opposed to maybe even 90 minutes of focused work a day. That's it. You sit down, you get focused, you do your thing. Do you know how much better you feel? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. Like you just get something done and it's amazing. That's what we're going to be focused on. So, in order to make that happen for your super simple September, the first thing you need to do is decide what you're going to focus on. Decide. Do you guys know the root of the word decide? Side, CIDE in the English language? Yeah. Side means to kill, right? So think of like pesticide, homicide, right? Like side means to kill. D meaning two. You have two paths you can take. Sometimes there's more, I understand, but to decide means you kill off one of the options. And when you kill off one of the options, you have no other option but to focus, but to get down to work on the one thing that you said you were going to do. So, the first thing I want you to do in our super simple September is decide what you're going to be working on. What is the number one thing you can focus on in September? Because we know holiday revenue is coming. We know holiday plans are coming. We know year end revenue is coming. We know these things are happening. So, how can you choose one thing that will help narrow down your focus so you can actually get something done? And it is really important that you actually do this. I want you right now, no joke, pick one thing that you're going to work on just in September. Okay. Doesn't mean you're not going to work on anything else in the world. Of course, life is going to come up, customer service is going to come up. We're going to talk about all of that in a minute. But if you don't know what you're actually focused on, it's really hard to stay focused on it. Is this making sense? I know it seems like duh, right? But we don't do it, do we? We don't. We're too busy. There's so many balls in the air. There's so much that we're focused on. And then you add in those distractions we're about to talk about, and you're going to lose, right? And that's why so many people come to me and they're like, Sarah, why can I not get ahead? Why can I not just be like everybody else and get so much done? And it's because one, a lot of things are vying for your attention, but two, you haven't decided what you're going to protect. Sounds funny, right? Even going back to the workshop, right? You got to really decide, okay, come on in, let's go, all right, so that's step number one. If you have a second, all right, Kate, it's okay. Don't worry about your camera on that during the workshop. All right, so number one, do you have the one thing you can really work on? I want you to pick the one thing that you're going to focus on in September. For us, we're going to be opening up a few more spots into the Abundance Academy in October and November. So that's my number one focus for September. Is what are the results already being caused? How are people already doing? What stories can we tell that are going to just be amazing? There's so many. We're so excited, right? That is the number one focus. Make sense? Okay. So get your number one focus. Step two, you need to actually, okay, this one I get sort of from Brendan Bouchard. We love him, right? But there is a little bit of, I love him. Please hear that I love him, right? But there's a little bit of the patriarchal hustle in there too. However, he says something that I think is really great. And that is, if I were to look into your calendar, I should know what's most important to you. I love that. I really love that. The idea being in my calendar, it's pretty funny. The first things you'll see in there, right, are my kids' activities. It's like they're everywhere. First of all, let's be honest, right? But also I need to know when I need to block off time from work so I can be there for them, whether it's drop off, pickup, or an event, right? I want to be there. That they're excited to participate in. That is the number one thing that goes into my calendar. Yep, because that's super important to me. So now you know what one of my priorities is, right? It's my children. The next thing you're going to see is all of the plans that we have for the Abundance Academy openings that are coming up, right? That's what you're going to see in my calendar is times we're recording videos, times I'm talking to current participants. We call them abundance makers, right? People who are currently in there. What's going on for them? What's happening? How can we share these stories? Are they okay if we share these stories? Right? All of those things need to get done and handled. And then internally as a team, where can we improve on customer service? Where can we improve on our messaging? How many ads do we want to run? Like all of this is happening, but there's one focus, right? And that's those openings. The other thing you'll see is my children. Yeah, is this making sense? I should be able to open up your calendar. If I were to go tap, tap, tap on your shoulder and we opened up your calendar together and I'm looking at it with you, I should know what your priorities are. And the reason they're priorities is you've blocked off time to get them done. And I'm not talking about time blocking like 3 hours here, 3 hours there. What I'm saying is you've made time to protect those things that are the most important to you. And what we need to do in order to do that is not only put them in our calendar, that's kind of step one. I promised you simple steps to get this done. Yeah. So, step number one is opening your calendar and making sure that your number one priority for September is protected. Have you put it in? Right? Okay. Now let's talk about real life. It's all well and good for me to be like, let me see your priorities in your calendar. Yeah, that's real. And what's going to happen? This little 4-letter word called life. That's what's going to happen. Someone's going to need you for something. Again, customer service may pop up. It might be that you get sick. It could be that your internet goes down for 3 days. It could, like all these other things could happen, right? So you're going to have to make contingency plans. Those are kind of like out of the box thinking, like what could actually happen and what could a contingency plan be? And if that's the case, you're like, okay, if I did run out of internet for 3 days in a row, right when I'm supposed to be writing, what could I do? You can go to the library. You can turn that over to a team member. You can make sure you go to a Starbucks. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, come on. There's always a way to work around stuff. But if you're not prepared for it and you haven't thought it through at the very beginning, it's hard to keep it simple because it feels like your life exploded. And it got bumped a little, but there's always an answer. There's a way for you to keep it simple. If you don't think it through beforehand, you probably won't, and you'll get nervous and you can get derailed really quickly. Does this make sense? I always say, what is going to knock you off course? I love asking my clients that. All right, before our next meeting, what's going to knock you off course? What do we need to plan for? And I want you to do that in September, right? I don't know about you, but I hate the emails from the schools during September. I'm like, oh my dear God. It's like, what? I can't take any more of those in, people. Right. So it's like that may come up and it might be something you actually want to participate in. Okay. What are your non negotiables? Right. For me, if I'm not going to have a great time participating, I'm not going. And that includes my friends whom I love and adore. That includes clients. That includes colleagues. That includes my family. Love them all. But if I'm not actually going to enjoy being there, if I'm like nervous and sweating because there was something else I was supposed to be doing, probably not going to go. Right. If somebody, calls me and says, hey, extra Taylor Swift backstage passes, I'm freaking going. That's a non-negotiable. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going and I'm going to pick that woman's brain until my lips fall off because, oh my God. Right. Like that, I would say yes to, because that would be an ultimate joy for me. Making sense. You've got to know, like, no, I'm not doing that. Make sure you are clear on what you will not be doing. It sounds funny because everybody, all of us coaches, we're always like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I'm saying, what are you not going to do? Right? You got to be really clear. If it does not bring you joy, right? If it's not something that's going to move your life forward, please say no to it this month. There is too much going on for you to say yes to things that you don't love. Yeah? Agreed? Cool? Okay. So this brings us to my favorite word. I know I'm such a coach. I know. What do you think my favorite word is? Yeah, I have a lot of favorite words. I'm a big fat liar. But when we're talking about planning, when we're talking about your super simple September, my favorite word for you this month is going to be no. And not no like a big fat jerk face. Please don't be a big fat jerk face. Okay. Be kind, be considerate, and be honest. That's not going to work for me right now, but thank you so much. Right. Oh my gosh. I so appreciate you thinking of me. It's not going to work in my schedule right now. I have some big goals going on. You can tell that to people. People actually really respect that. And we have got to stop the high functioning codependence that keeps us saying yes to make sure everybody else is happy while we're miserable. That is a no-go. Absolutely not for September. September is too packed of a month. Do not Allow yourself to get hooked into the codependence piece of that, where, oh, but I have to because other people expect it of me. Retrain them, retrain yourself, retrain other people in that September belongs to you. It belongs to you. It belongs to the events, ideas, plans that matter most to you and to the people who matter most to you and that you love being around. Period. End of conversation. And you can always do that with kindness. Yeah. You've got to say no more this month specifically, right? I don't usually say that quite as harshly as I'm going to say in September. You must say no more often. Deal? All right. So now we've decided what you're focused on. I always love walking you through the steps, right, dudes? Okay, so we're going to decide what you're focused on. We're going to put it in your calendar. All your top priorities are now in your calendar, and that may take some planning, I understand. And then we're going to learn to say no a lot more often this month, especially. Yeah? Make sense? Okay, good. Finally, I want you to think of the common interruptions. This is not the life explosion interruptions that we just sort of talked about. I want you to think about the things that normally knock you off course. Um, some people I know get Apple TV notifications on their phone. Mm, Might want to turn those off for September. I'm just saying, right? So for you, if it's TV, if it's Netflix, if it's getting up and going to get food when you are supposed to be working, if it's that your friends and family interrupt at a specific time when it's like so predictable, right? Then plan for it now so it's not a problem. You know, for so many years in my business, I did not plan anything from 3 to 6 p.m. ever in my business because I couldn't. There was no way I could sit in here and work when the kids get home from school. It's not happening. Right now, they're older and I'm so excited. I now have appointments all the way through 6 p.m. on my calendar now because I can. But when I couldn't, that was accounted for. Right? You've got to make your business life work inside your life. If you're going to continually get annoyed at people or frustrated, move stuff. Like, let's figure that out now. There are the usual suspects for you. Remove notifications if they distract you. Start using focus more on your phone if that's what you need to do. Do you need to get up an hour earlier or stay up an hour later? I know everybody's got their genius zones, right? You know yours the best. In order to get more work done, in order to stay focused, in order to feel in control. Do you need to make sure that your priority list for the next day is written down every night before you're done working? That can alleviate so much stress, but it's also you accounting for, oh, tomorrow I actually have a lunch meeting. I need to make sure we get these things done. And I'm not going to work before that because I want to get this thing done instead. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, start thinking through where the normal interruptions are in your day that knock you off course and account for them now. Stop making yourself feel so frustrated. And if you are in the United States today and you are enjoying Labor Day and you're like watching me on your phone from the beach like this, I want you to think about what's annoyed you even while you've been watching this video. Those are probably things you can account for all through the month. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? It's okay. I love you. All right. Then finally, what I'd like you to do. Oh, wait, hold on. I created a list for you guys. Give me one sec. I have too many windows open. Oh, I know. It's true. It's true. Okay. One thing I'd like you to do right now with me, okay, with me right this minute, is I want you to think of 5 steps that need to be taken in order to have your number 1 September focus handled. Just write them down right now, just 5, right? What are 5 things, 5 steps, 5 tasks that need to get done in order for you to stay focused on this one thing for September? Go ahead and write those down right now. Dun, dun, dun. It's okay. We can dance while we do this, right? Dun, 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 dun. Ah! Oh, I love that. Kim, you totally did. You totally started favorite words in August. You were definitely channeling the Abundance Academy. So happy to see you here, by the way. Love it. Love it. Okay. 5 things. I'll dance for you if you don't be afraid. Okay. So 5 things. And here's the deal, dudes. I don't know why I'm calling you guys dudes today. I don't know. Excuse me, ma'am, your Utah is showing. Anyway, okay. So you can take the girl out of Utah, but you can't. Okay. As you get these 5 things, these 5 steps done for yourself, I want them in your calendar. Look, if we do 5 things in this month, that's 1.5 1.25 things a week. You can do that. Do you see how much easier it is if you pick one thing to focus on? And people freak out because I know we all have 95 million projects that we could be working on. We have all these different things we could be doing, but you're not going to get any of them done if you don't pick one and get started. And I know that feels counterintuitive. And there's this scarcity mindset out there that if you're not busy all the time and you're not working on everything all the time, then you're useless. That is some white patriarchal BS. Okay. That is not accurate. And in fact, it's a recipe for disaster. Focus on one thing, see it to fruition, do it the way that you want to do it. Probably launch it before it's ready. And by launch, I don't care what it is. Put on the nice skinny jeans, hit publish on your website, whatever launch it is, right? Like your one thing for September. And I want you to do that a little bit before you feel like it's perfect. But make sure the integrity's in. Do it the way you want it to be done. You can always go back and perfect more, but you can't relaunch. You know what I'm saying? Like get it out, launch, and then you can fine tune as you go. Yeah? Okay. All right. So get those things in your calendar now. Now, as far as common interruptions, here are some things I would like for you to think of. Okay, you ready? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Hi. Right? Yeah. Things that are distracting and not moving you forward. Okay, we don't need to watch somebody trip 15 times. You can watch it one time. Twitter, really? Pinterest? Reading junk mail magazines. I know. I know. We all do it. It's okay. I love you. It's all right. Picking up the phone for that chatty person when it wasn't planned. Now that happens less and less these days because we text each other and say, "Can you talk now?" All those kinds of things. Please put your phone on focus. Please stop doing this to yourself. It's okay. People understand. We cannot be at the beck and call of others 24/7. Okay. Hours of TV, constantly checking email. This is one I have to tell you in between your tasky tasks, those 5 things that we just put in your calendar, don't check your email. Okay? Set time aside. Anybody who's really producing at a high level, I promise you this is what they're doing. I swear on my life. They have hours set aside, maybe 1 hour in the morning or a half an hour in the morning and a half an hour before close of business where they're really checking emails and actually responding. People get used to that. It's okay. They're busy too, right? And if something's truly an emergency, you'll find out. Yeah. So keep texts on for certain people, right? Like my kids can always break through. My father can break through. The school nurse can break through, right? And nobody else can. See what I'm saying? Right. And my team members know how to reach me if, like, oh, I don't know, the entire server's on fire or something. Yeah. So figure out how to do that so the important things can get through so you're not worried. The rest of the time, do not check your email in between. You've got other stuff to do. And, the inbox for most of us, it's junk email magazines. Hi, right? And a few people I really love to talk to. And sometimes it's so full, I even miss those. So unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. Yeah. And if you're only doing it a half an hour here, half an hour there, it's so much easier. Making sense? Okay. The other thing I really want you to watch out for, especially if you're in my orbit, we don't do gossip. I don't want gossip in your life. And I know that can be really hard for some people. I had a girlfriend once who's like, well, of course we're all going to talk about each other when we're not there. I was like, the fuck we are. Oh, I said the F word. Sorry. But it's like, no. If I have something I need to say to you, I'll say it. We're not going to run around behind each other's backs and talk. What? No. She's like, but it's a form of communication. I'm like, for whom? If there's something you're trying to work out, that's one thing, right? If you're like, oh, I think my friend is making a mistake and I love her and I really want to help her. What is the best way I could say that? That is totally different from, you would not believe what Susie is doing. Oh my God, she's lost her mind. Really big people, meaning solid, grounded, effective, productive, life-changing humans are not talking about other people. They're usually talking about ideas. They're talking about concepts. They're talking about progress. They're talking about how to make the world better. They're talking about what they've learned themselves. When you watch somebody else talk about other people for the majority of the time, they're not producing something new. They're rehashing old stories that either make them feel right or preserve their own identity. And 9 times out of 10, how many of you have had a friend who's told you the same story about someone else more than once, right? That's how we know it's not about problem solving. It's not about moving forward. It's about reinforcing identities and stories. You are to move past that. I said it that way. You are to move past that this month. This month, go beyond gossip. Start talking about ideas, concepts, solutions, plans, and not other people. Small minds talk about other people. Big minds talk about ideas. Okay? So if one of your distraction points, one of your interruptions is gossiping, we're going to squash that right now, okay? And watch yourself. You're not perfect. We all mess up from time to time. We all have that desire to be right and reinforce our identities. But I want you to catch it. And note the amount of time and energy that is spent on gossiping could be spent on moving your life forward, could be spent on your number one focus. It could be spent on producing more revenue. It could be spent on increasing your health. Gossip will never do that for you. Deal? Talk about a super simple September, huh? Imagine how much nicer your life will be if you didn't gossip. Yeah? Okay. Um, The other thing that I want you to look out for in common interruptions is comparisons, comparing yourself to others or looking at competitors. We actually just went through this in the Abundance Academy. We had a whole week just really diving into where we get paralyzed and the stories we start to tell ourselves when we do that. So if you know you go and compare and despair, and I don't care if it's about how you do your makeup, your hair, your body, the language somebody uses, how nice their house is. I pick a thing. There's so many things we compare ourselves, right? Also, some white patriarchal BS. So what we want to do is figure out what's happening right before you decide, because you're always deciding. It's always a choice to pick up your phone and go down that rabbit hole. It's always a choice, never an accident. Might feel automatic, but it's still a choice. What happens right before you start that behavior? If you can catch that, you can stop it. You've got to know what's happening for you when you choose to put yourself in a compare and despair moment instead of being productive. Are you nervous about what you're producing? Are you bored by it? If so, you might want to pick a different project. And I'm not talking about just tasky tasks. Tasky tasks can be annoying. I got that. But if you love what it's producing, you'll do it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's all good. If you're bored, if you need to change your offers, if you need to change what you're focused on, if you need to change on your surroundings, that happened a lot. We had a lot of clients and participants in August get co-working spaces, go to the library, start hitting up coffee shops. This was a very common trend, and it was because they were comparing and despairing all the time. So you need to change your environment, and all of a sudden all that stopped and the productivity skyrocketed. You've got to plan for these things. This is how we keep things simple, is we get more and more aware of what's knocking us off course. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just going to review really quickly. Hello, beautiful people. We are going to review very quickly our steps, yeah? So you're going to decide on the most important thing. You're going to pick the 5 simple steps you can take, get those in your calendar. Make sure any other priority, family, friends, loved ones, a family reunion, whatever the heck is coming up that's super important to you, is locked in and protected. Learn how to say no more. If it does not bring you joy, I really want you to start saying no to it. You deserve to love this one special life that you have. And then I want you to pick your usual suspects that will knock you off course and make a plan for them now. Right? You can do the big things that'll knock you off course. Like, I keep joking around about losing internet or whatever. I lost internet this morning. Can you tell? Anyway, so you want to make a plan for that. And then you also want to look at the normal things that can knock you off course and make sure you have a plan in place for that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. Step number 5, for those of you who want to win the booby prize of life, right? No, sign up for the Fall Reset Workshop. That is taking place September 26th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. with me. You guys, I'm doing this for free because I want you increasing your revenue over the holiday season. I cannot believe we're doing this for free. My team thinks I've lost my mind. They're like, Sarah, this is like a $400, $500 product. I'm like, I know, but there's so many people who need help. This has been a tough year. I know the market has shifted. We've got AI stealing jobs from people. It's okay. It's all progress. What are you going to do about it? Right? That's all of that will be covered in the fall reset workshop. And it's a reset for a reason. It's time to come back to you. It's time to create some awesome holiday selling plans. You need to know what you're doing. You need it with clarity. And we're going to get down to it over these 3 hours. There's going to be breaks, don't worry. And if you show up on time, but only if you show up on time, we are gifting you my holiday profit guide. This is normally only for sale during the holiday season for a very short amount of time, and then it's gone. It'll be yours free, but you have to show up on time. Yeah. All right. Kate, I'm so glad to hear you signed up and you've added it to your calendar and you are doing your best to attend live. I mean, what more can we ask for, right? Now we know what your priorities are. Holiday revenue for Kate. Love it. All right, beautiful humans. Let's keep September simple. I would love to know what you've decided to focus on. Feel free to share in the comments below. And if you have tips, we can crowdsource this, right? If people are like, I don't know how to keep it simple, let's work together on it. I've got your back. We've got each other. I will see you guys in the workshop on September 26th. The link will be underneath this video to register. I love you guys. Have a great September. I'll see you in October.